Alrighty, so I found another deal at Best Buy for a pre-built for these crazy times where it's more expensive to build than buy currently. So this is a CyberPower Gamer Xtreme Gaming Desktop Intel Core i5-10600KF for your CPU, 8 gigabytes of RAM, one stick. That's XBG it's showing in the picture. That's not the best, but easy to upgrade. Nvidia GeForce GTX 1660 Super, which is a solid graphics card, especially for a starter build or someone that's looking to get something more modern. 1 terabyte hard drive and a 240 gigabyte SSD. So both those components are perfectly fine. The case actually looks kind of cool. It's kind of got a fishbowl effect where you can see through the front and the side clear because it has no fans obstructing the vision. And it does look like it has decent airflow coming from here. The only problem is it doesn't look like it has any sort of guard to stop dust from coming in. Now, the problem with this computer right off the bat, not only just having 8 gigabytes of RAM is going to hold you back in certain games. If it's GPU demanding, not so much. But the biggest problem is this is an Intel i5-10600KF. So that means that it's overclockable. But you need to have a Z series motherboard for it to be overclockable. And by reading down here, it says that this guy purchased it 3 days ago, last month, and it came with an ASRock B460M. So that is a setback. That means you won't be able to overclock the CPU. And for them to throw in a K series anyways, it doesn't seem really worth it, but it does beat the 10400F by quite a bit in gaming. So yeah, it's either way you're still going to get a boost. It would be like having a 10400F overclocked, but you're not getting the full potential of the 5.1 that this computer can pump out to 6 cores and 12 threads. But it will crush pretty much any game. It's a solid CPU. Comparison of everyone's favorite, the 3600. It still beats it. But these are definitely scores based off overclocking, so they should be pretty similar. So yeah, so if you went to go build this today, so I went as close as I possibly could. I could not find a case that represents it, but it doesn't matter. I went with like affordable parts, so $300 just about just to get the processor. This might be a 10600K, but I didn't see any other options. Let me just take one last quick look. 10600K. Yeah, that's why I didn't choose the F. So it would be more beneficial to get this one. It does have internal graphics, meaning you don't need to have that hard drive to get a picture, hard drive, the GPU to get a picture. I just went with a Thermaltake air cooler just because this one does have an aftermarket one, and this one seemed like it was pretty similar, 20 bucks. Went with the cheapest possible B460M motherboard with 4 slots, the cheapest possible 8 gigabyte RAM, cheapest possible 1 terabyte hard drive, cheapest possible 240 gigabyte solid state drive, and the cheapest 1660 Super. The Corsair RGB case that I always use, and a 500 watt power supply by Thermaltake, which probably has a similar one inside that computer. And it runs you, without even having a keyboard, Wi-Fi, or mouse, $919. The estimated wattage would be 357. You might as well just round that up to 360, 380, because that's probably what it would be sitting around. And yeah, so you could either build it yourself for $919, or you could buy it from Best Buy already built for $779 with it might be crappy keyboard, might be crappy mouse, but who cares? It's less money. I'm not the kind of guy that's going to scrutinize anyone that can't build a PC. I build my computers, but that doesn't mean that, like, I wouldn't. I live in Canada. My options of buying PCs are completely different. This one in Canada would not be on sale. They never are. Yeah, the only thing I can say bad about it is the motherboard, but everything else is pretty solid components. You'll have an upper mid-level gaming PC for sure. You can run pretty much any game you throw at this, you won't have a problem.